Butler. Chief Butler, welcome to Ingrid's World.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Thrilled and honored to have you here on the show.
It's my honor. Thank you for having me.
So I always like to ask people, find out, where you're from and where do you hail from?
Well, that's an interesting question. I've got two branches of where I'm from.
Oh, all right.
The first, I was born in Monrovia, Liberia, in Africa.
Oh my goodness.
And I lived there until I was 12 years old when my family immigrated over to Columbia, Maryland. So the first 12 years was in Africa with my family and my two brothers and my sister.
Yes.
And my parents, and we moved over here.
How exciting. How did you start your career?
Well, I was in the Marine Corps for a long time and was stationed at Quantico, Virginia.
Right here.
Yes. And there came an opportunity where someone told me about the job in Maryland. And I said, well, gosh, that's an interesting opportunity to be able to go back to Howard County, where I was from, and work in the fire department there. Up until that time, I had never given it any thought of being a firefighter or a paramedic.
Really?
I had been to combat in a couple of our conflicts around the world, and was a very happy and content Marine in Quantico. Well, went home to Maryland and was offered the opportunity and became a firefighter in that community.
Wonderful,
Yes.
Wonderful. You selected, was the opportunity came up, how did you say, well, fire safety, that's a career for me. How did you come to that conclusion?
Well, the attraction to the job was about helping people. I didn't know the difference from a fire engine to a ladder truck to an ambulance. But it had a lot of the same core values as I had identified with in the Marines.
Oh my goodness.
So this was an added opportunity to go home to my local community and help there. I didn't know if I was cut out to be a firefighter or a paramedic. It was a kind of trial by fire, if you will, no pun intended.
I understand.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So tell us about Fairfax County Fire and Rescue Department. Tell us about that.
I'm really excited to be the fire chief here in Fairfax County, Virginia. It's an opportunity that came about, and I was appointed by the Board of Supervisors in July of 2018.
My goodness.
Yes, not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
A year ago. Oh my
Right.
goodness.
So I started on September 1 of 2018, and this organization is it's a proud organization. It's very professional and has a lot to be emulated, to include the Virginia Task Force 1, their EMS system, our fire suppression processes. We're one of very few departments in the world that is accredited as an accredited agency.
Oh my goodness.
And has a Class 1 rating. So there are a number of things that this is a gem in the fire service. Like many other departments, we have our issues that we need to work through and work on. But overall, this is a great organization, and I'm so happy to be part of it.
I get excited that when I turn on the television and I see a disaster that has taken place in the world, I see Fairfax County there.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
Well, Fairfax County's Virginia Task Force 1 has relationships with the feds, with the federal government, along with one other agency in the country, Los Angeles County. And we work with the federal government at times where we need to do international assistance.
Yes.
And also we work with FEMA when there are national disasters.
Wow.
It's pretty premier position to be in.
Oh my goodness.
It says a lot about our agency.
It really does. And so you what are some of the safety programs that are going on in Fairfax?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Safety is a two-way street, as I often say. It takes our organization as the fire department, working closely with the community to be invested partners in community safety and community risk reduction.
Yes.
So we have a few initiatives going on. One of them is the Girls Fire Camp to involve young women,
Nice.
preteens and up into their later teens, to introduce them to the profession and also be educated on what we do and how we engage with the community.
Wow, that's like fantastic.
Yes.
So good. That's looking at this next generation of coming in. Oh, that's so important.
Right.
You're very successful. You know, what has been some of the keys to your success? You know,
That's I would like to think that my successes have been I contribute them to all those mentors and coaches who have helped me through life, from parents to colleagues and supervisors and even those who've worked for me, if you will.
Yes.
You know, we learn from each other. It is a village.
It is a village.
You know,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I've had the opportunity to use these two things called ears, and at times, you know, just stop talking and do the listening. Additionally, the ability to convey a vision. That's been very important to me, being able to convey a vision, communicate that vision, and get the buy-in of the organization, you know, and point the organization in the direction that we're all trying to go collaboratively.
Oh, exactly. What gives you like the joy to say, you know, I am so glad I'm here? What gives you the greatest joy?
When I see individuals taking accountability for their actions and also being empowered to make decisions, educated, informed decisions, that's usually a milestone for me when a group or a person has become strong enough to stand on their own feet and own the action and be decisive and be direct and forthcoming and have great communication skills.
So we probably have, and I like to think, because I'm on television a lot, and so there are going to be young people watching you, and they will say, you know, girls and boys, and I like to get into the career, you know, that you're in. What would your suggestions be to them?
I would say, contact us. We're on the
love
internet.
it.
Contact us.
Okay.
And let's have a conversation with our recruitment section.
Really?
We might even be able to arrange where they could come in and shadow some of what we do. It's more important that they pursue this profession with their eyes, as they say, wide open.
I love it.
Everything, probably most things don't look like Chicago Fire.
Right, exactly.
We work a 24-hour shift, and there's a lot that goes on through that tour, to include training, include engagement with the rest of the shift and the team, as well as responding to EMS calls and fire and other emergency incidents.
Wow.
So I would encourage folks to engage with us and get a sense of what we do, and it might be a good fit,
Oh, I love it. Well, I had to tell you, Chief Butler, you're the first professional that I said that I've asked a question and you said, call us.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, and that makes sense that, you can shadow, even just having a shadow would be amazing to say, well, this might be just a thing, or maybe this is not, let me look, for another. But what a great opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's fantastic. So what has been your philosophy in terms of, how do your leadership, what has been your philosophy?
My philosophy, I guess it may have come from being the oldest of three siblings. Oh. The oldest, me being the fourth one. And so I started, I guess, in a leadership role at an earlier age. And My philosophy is encourage and strengthen people to stand on their own, to grow leaders. You know, there's a quote I have on my Twitter page that says, you know, the function of leadership is not to make more followers, it's to make more leaders, and that's a Ralph Nader saying, and that's where I would like to spend my energy. In, you know, encourage and help and support individuals and organizations to grow more leaders.
And I think that's what it's all about. It's about leadership.
It is. In most cases, I think in all cases, it's always about leadership, I think.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So you tell them to call you and ask you about your greatest joy. What has been so far well, I won't say about Fairfax County, but as you move forward with your career, what has been a challenge that you had to, you know, to deal with, and how did you deal with it?
Change is always a challenge. Change, we're human, and I think we're wired to, in most cases, kind of be risk averse or change averse. So the challenge is always the ability to communicate the vision. Communicate the vision and communicate the message and the direction we should be going in, or we plan on going in. That is a challenge all the time, because as much as I may think I know where we're going, the rest of the team won't know that by osmosis.
That's right.
So the challenge is being able to communicate what's going on in his head.
So as our fire chief in Fairfax County, what words would you like to share with our residents here about what they should be doing regarding fire safety?
Well, they can check out our mediums, be it on the internet or social media, and there's some community risk reduction initiatives that our community can be involved in, such as smoke alarms. We do offer at times free smoke alarms to be installed in homes and multi-family residences, as well as, you know, we have the Community Emergency Response Team, which is CERT, C-E-R-T. We have a Community Fire and Rescue Academy for people to learn more of what we do.
Wow.
And like I mentioned earlier, the Girls Fire Camp, and a number of other initiatives. So I would say engage with us via the internet, and check out our social media pages, websites, and could learn a lot to be partners with us as we make Fairfax County a safer place.
Wow. As make it a safe place. Sounds like we have like a hand in this with the fire department.
Yes.
Well, we're thrilled to have you here at the television station. Thank you for taking time out of your very, very busy schedule to come and talk about Fairfax County Fire Department. It was an honor having you here, Chief Butler.
Good being here.